God called home his best angel. I'm sad now, but I'm also happy because I know my cousin will always have my back. She broke the chain of our family bond, and that void in our hearts can never be filled. We will always remember our missing link. She has now joined the heavenly gates, and she gained her beautiful wings. I feel at ease knowing she is watching over us and protecting us. To my other half, my first sister, my first best friend, my cousin, my soror, and my Pisces twin. Saying you will be missed is the understatement of the century. We love you more than words could ever express. As we release our balloons, my hope here is that everyone here can release any overwhelming emotions that they have and let God take it. So on a count of 3, everyone, say whatever you want to heaven, Ondria. 1, 2, 3.
Got your wings, girl.
And they're all going in one direction.
Yes, they all went that way.
Ondria Glaze was the epitome of everything you'd want in a daughter, sister, friend, and colleague. Raised in Philly, she harbored aspirations of making a positive impact in her community since her teenage years. While a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Inc. at the University of Delaware, she contemplated various career paths but ultimately chose to pursue teaching due to the dire need for educators in her area. Following graduation, amidst several job endeavors, she secured her dream role at Olney High School in Philly. Over a decade, she fulfilled multiple roles, including assistant, teacher, and coordinator, but it was her position as a special education monitor that resonated deeply with her. Known for her embodiment of love, affection, and genuine kindness, she left an indelible mark on all those she encountered. Yet, Ondria's impact transcended the school walls. Loved ones admired her unparalleled ability to exude love, care, compassion, and inspiration regardless of personal challenges. She set a standard through her actions, a legacy they will forever hold dear in her absence. Glaze's Facebook account revealed that she had been in a relationship with 42-year-old Rick Harper before officially announcing it in November. Despite their differing outlooks on life and Harper's 2 children from a previous relationship, none of these disparities mattered to Ondria. She was committed to meeting him halfway, accepting him for who he was, and building a future together. They dated for several years, attending events, going on trips, and occasionally sharing their adventures on social media for friends and family. Although Glaze believed their relationship was flourishing and harbored hopes of marriage, she was devastated to discover Harper's infidelity. While she dedicated herself to being an active stepmother, Harper was engaging with other women on dating sites behind her back. Making the difficult decision to leave, Glaze had no regrets, having invested her heart and soul into the relationship. However, Harper, accustomed to the benefits of having Glaze in his life, refused to let her go. His choice to end Ondria's life shattered countless others, with many unable to comprehend how such a tragedy could befall someone like Glaze. Welcome to American Crime, Femicide channel. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for future uploads. On May 6, Ondria and Rick were found dead at a home on 1300 block of S 30th Street. Investigations revealed that Rick shot Glaze in the cheek before turning the gun on himself. As news of Ondria and Rick's murder-suicide spread on social media, Ondria's friends emphasized Rick's infidelity, branding him a monster.
Action News has learned that a beloved teacher in Philadelphia was the victim of a murder-suicide. Police say Ondria Glaze was killed on Monday night in Grays Ferry.
Glaze worked at Olney High School, and tonight there is a growing memorial right there outside of her office.
It is Wednesday night, and the big story in Action News is the murder of a teacher in Philadelphia.
Tonight, students and staff members are mourning while trying to make sure her legacy lives on. Action News reporter John Paul live for us now at Olney High School with more on this story. John.
Yeah, Shari, it really came as a surprise, a shock to all the students and staff here. There's a memorial starting to take shape inside this school. There's also a more permanent one in the works. But, Rick, Shari, it's obvious that she left a real impact on everyone who knew her. Ondria Glaze spent 10 years inside the walls of Olney High School. In that time, she held a number of titles, from assistant to teacher and coordinator. But the students and staff say she was more like a family member.
She was honestly not even a friend, more like a sister to all of us.
It was a surprise. Ms. Glaze was the sweetest person I ever knew. Every time you see her, she always smiling.
That's why the school community was so devastated to learn that Miss Glaze was killed on Monday. Police say she was killed in a murder-suicide on South 30th Street in Grays Ferry. As her students and coworkers learned of her death, this memorial started to take shape on the doors of her office.
We didn't organize them. They just did it. This was known as the hub, and they would come looking for her, and she would, always be in there, ready to listen.
The school's we truly lost a really big part of our community.
As the memorial grows on these walls, the school also wanted to make a more permanent memorial to recognize her love.
She embodied Oni love. She was a light everywhere she went. She blessed everyone she came into contact with. She was Oni love.
So they started a GoFundMe page. The idea to create a scholarship in honor of Miss Glaze to keep her memory alive.
We are going to give out every year to a graduating senior who also embodies that light and that love here in the Olney school community.
In the aftermath of Ondria's murder, her colleagues and family organized a balloon release, underscoring the impact she had on the community and expressing the deep void her absence would leave.
She made a difference and made you feel special. That sentiment echoed throughout the crowd outside of Olney High School. With intense grief, they gathered to celebrate the life of Ondria Glaze, the special education compliance monitor shot and killed nearly 1 week ago.
A sister to some and a mother to others. She was more than just a part of the community. She was the community. Ms. Glaze was a major part that made all of our days so much better.
And to her mom, I love you because you created one of the biggest inspirations in my life. And I'm sorry this happened to y'all.
But what I want to reiterate are some of the things that I consistently heard. Just words and themes that transpired and were woven through everyone's words. I heard joy, I heard light, I heard encourager, and those are just some of the few things that describe who Glaze was and will forever be in each of our hearts. As we do this balloon release, one of the things I want each of you to think through is, how are you feeling? What are those emotions that you're feeling, whether it be sad, anger, confusion? As you're thinking of that, I pray that you would release, but allow what you release to be fulfilled with shalom, right? When we talk about shalom, that is a peace that only God can give to us. And I pray that that peace, his peace, which passes all understanding, will reign true for each and every one of you here during this time.
Good evening. My name is Gregory Green, and I'm a special education teacher here who has had the utmost pleasure of working with Miss Glaze for the last 6 years. Last year, I was approached by Miss Leontis about possibly being spec'em with Glaze, as they currently were able to have 2 at that time. I was hesitant, but Miss Glaze enticed me at the chance to work with someone I admired and I knew I would work well with. Throughout the year, we grew as professionals and friends. Glaze's job was not as easy as I came to find out. Welcoming students at the door, attending IEP meetings, checking in with Mr. Roth, and attending to whatever student came to the hub looking for her at any given moment. Glaze always made time for others. Being an educator in Philadelphia is a challenging profession, with ups and downs and highs and lows. Glaze showed me that love can help ease the burden of these challenges. The definition of glaze in Webster's dictionary is to make a surface shiny and shimmering by putting a substance on it and leaving it there. I couldn't think of a more appropriate name for someone who truly helped Alani shine. Getting validation as a teacher can be difficult as we strive to meet deadlines, grade work, communicate with colleagues and parents, and do it with a smile. Anytime I completed my sped work, I always got an "I appreciate you, Green." And it really did mean the world to me and kept me motivated. I could always count on Glaze being there for me. As we leave here to grieve and prepare to grieve more on Wednesday, I ask that when you get home, you reach out to an old friend you haven't spoken to in a while, or maybe a family member that you've been putting off talking to for whatever reason, and tell them you love them. Because if there was one thing Glaze taught me, it was that meeting difficulties with love and compassion can be the best remedy. Thanks for everything, Glaze.
On May 15th, loved ones of Ms. Glaze gathered to bid their final farewells at her funeral. As they struggle to cope with her sudden murder and tragic loss, please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. The vibrant, joyful, and beautiful life of this young woman has been cut short by a man unable to accept rejection. Women deserve the right to leave relationships without fear of being murdered or killed by a jealous ex. Yet, here we are, forced to say goodbye to another woman who has departed this world far too soon. May Ondria Glaze rest in peace.